All right, well, we're here with Kate Paye, who's now the assistant coach at Stanford University. And certainly we've seen a lot of you here at Stanford. You originally graduated in 1995. And were you the first walk-on for Stanford?
No, I don't think I was the first walk-on for Stanford. As a matter of fact, I know that Angela Taylor, who is 2 years ahead of me, she walked on at Stanford, and I was an avid fan of the team and came to all the games and certainly knew who she was. And she actually was a source of inspiration for me, and I kind of, I knew that she had done it and she was an integral part of the team, and I knew because of that Tara and Amy and her staff were receptive to walk-ons, or at least give you a shot. So, Angela kind of paved the way.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people already know what walk-ons are, but maybe I should ask you to explain that and then ask how that's a little bit different than the people that were recruited.
Well, walking on just means that you're not a recruited player and that you're paying your own way. And as I like to tease all of my teammates, it means that I got into Stanford on my own merit without, being an athlete. But it basically just means you try out for the team, and you're not a scholarship player. They don't have a spot reserved for you, and if they like you, they'll keep you.
And how did you let the coaches know that you were going to walk on and take someone's starting role?
I don't think I let them know I was going to take anyone's starting role. I certainly knew who Tara and Amy were. I'd come to camp every year since I was 10 years old, so they were very aware of who I was, and they were very upfront with me, since my junior year that they would not be recruiting me. But I applied to Stanford. I was accepted, and when I made the decision that I was going to go, I just picked up the phone and called Tara and just let her know. And I think that was probably summer before my freshman year, and as only Tara can, she said, "Well, get on that track and get to running." So, she kind of gave me the lowdown on what the team's summer conditioning program was, and went to work, and was here in the fall and went through fall conditioning. And I remember the day she told me that I made the team, and again, Tara said, don't be satisfied, just work harder. So, I felt very fortunate that, she gave me that opportunity. It's something that not all coaches, not all programs do, and it was a really exciting experience for me.
Do you think that there was any doubt that you weren't going to make the team?
I really had no idea. I played pickup with the team, just as when my senior year in high school would come over and play pickup in the spring, and I certainly felt like I could compete with them. I knew I had a lot of improving to do. Sometimes people ask me, well, what were you going to do if you didn't make the team? And I guess maybe I was a bit naive because I didn't even really consider that possibility.
Oh, so you knew all along, like the rest of us.
I don't know about that, but...
But we'd already heard a lot about you because you had gone to Menlo School. And what did you win, 4 championships?
3 state championships.
Oh, 3.
With my brother as coach. I got to give him a little shout out.
And is he coaching now?
He's still coaching. He coaches at Notre Dame Belmont. He actually coaches his oldest daughter, Emma, who's a freshman there.
Take us a little bit about your experience at Stanford. What was the best part about it?
I had a tremendous experience at Stanford. It really, it was one of the richest experiences of my life. It was incredibly challenging. It was incredibly rewarding. I feel like I grew so much, not only as a player, but as a person. I think the best thing that I've taken from it is my friendships with my teammates. They're my closest friends to this day. And it's really special. It's something that you can't replicate, and it's part of the reason that I wanted to get back into coaching, was to be able to provide that type of experience for other young women.
And do you think being a point guard kind of prepares you a little bit more for being a coach because of your ability to see the entire floor and know what position everybody's supposed to be and where they're supposed to be on the floor? Do you think that's an advantage as you
I think
look
it
at
can
your coaching?
help. I think it can help. I think the most important thing is just really being a student of a game and a thinker when it comes to the game. And I think I was always that kind of player, probably mostly because I had to, because I maybe didn't have the physical gifts or the talents that maybe other players did. I really thought about things and tried to listen to coaches and understand why we were doing things. I also had the privilege of, obviously my experience here at Stanford, but then going on and playing professionally and learning from different coaches and seeing different ways of doing things. I was always very intrigued by it. So I definitely think that being a point guard and being a student of the game is important and has really impacted, how I coach and how I approach coaching.
Is there one memorable game or memorable experience that you had during your playing career at Stanford?
Let's see, there's tons. Without question, my freshman year I hardly even played a lick, but our home win versus Tennessee when we came back from about 12 down, I can still remember Val Whiting scoring a layup and then getting up there on the front of that press, and Maples was going crazy. That was a great game. Obviously winning the national championship my freshman year was an amazing experience that I'll never forget. There's other games, beating Colorado at home, I think maybe my junior year. Was a tremendous game. So many memories, just moments that will forever be emblazoned in my mind. And again, a lot of it comes back to moments you've shared with your teammates.
Yeah. Do you remember your longest three-point shot?
I do remember my longest three-point shot. In fact, we were arguing about it just the other day.
Is that right?
As the years go on, it moves farther and farther back. I believe it was against Oregon, and I think it was probably maybe a 55-footer. Tara has it now at maybe 70, 75 feet. But I just threw it up there, and our team was teasing me about it the other day, and I said, well, it's only 3 points I scored in the entire game. So.
And do you remember? I remember it pretty closely because I was sitting down that way. But do you remember what happened after halftime? So that was a three-pointer right before halftime. Do you remember what happened after halftime?
I don't know. I went in the game. Everyone yelled at me to shoot or something.
And you shot.
I did.
And I think Tara came out of her seat.
And yanked me. I would have hoped I would have been smart enough to not shoot it, but.
Well, I don't think you shot it. I think you just hesitated and everybody started laughing. It just caused, I think, a violation or something. But everybody else got a kick out of it. But Tara's always kind of serious about play, isn't she?
Tara's extremely competitive. It's been fun to get to know Tara even better, being on her staff now. I learned so much from her and have so much respect for her. She's just a tremendous coach, and she's an even better person. She has tremendous character, and she's an excellent role model for me and for our players. And what she means to the game of women's basketball is just, it can't really be put into words.
Yeah, she certainly has brought a lot of ex-players and other players through her coaching. What made you decide to come back here? Because you were at San Diego State, and you guys had kind of turned around the program down there, right?
I was at San Diego State. I was very happy there. Was part of a great staff. We worked very hard to rebuild a program, and I think it was on its way to a tremendous amount of success. When Tara called and said she had an opening, it was a very difficult decision for me. But the opportunity to come back to Stanford, to work with one of the best coaches in the history of the game, with one of the best programs in the nation, and to do that both at my alma mater and in my hometown where my family could watch, that's just a little bit too much to pass up.
Well, it certainly looks like attendance has increased by at least 10 each game.
My family,
right?
Of course, yeah.
And they've got prime seats.
They do. My mom has little courtside seats. I think she's more interested in what the coaches are wearing. So has courtside seats that has the best vantage to see what all the coaches look like. She's not so into the game.
Yeah. Well, it's probably a lot of fun for her to come back and watch as well.
She loves it. And, my brother and my dad and my sister and all their kids have been to all the games. And, Stanford and Stanford sports has really been, a huge part of our family tradition. So it's kind of nice that we have that kind of to always tie us together.
It's probably a huge part of your wardrobe, too, everyone in your family when you have get-togethers, isn't it?
It is. Lots of Cardinal, lots of red.
Yeah. Well, after you left Stanford, you went on, you played in the ABL, as I recall, wasn't it? The Seattle Reign. And you were there for 3 years?
3 years, the duration of the league's existence.
And then you went on to the WNBA.
Yes.
And you played for the Lynx? I
played 2 years for the Minnesota Lynx and 1 year for the Seattle Storm. And I was actually in graduate school at that same time here at Stanford. I was in a 4-year program, a combined law and business program. And it fit kind of nicely with the WNBA season. So, that's 4 years of school and then 3 intermittent summers I was playing. Basically, I figured out how to be a student athlete for 4 more years. Except this time it was on my bill. I was paying for it.